Hi, my name is Shannon Materawoman. I'm the CEO for NACA.
I'm Magnolia Perron, and I'm the Director of Strategy and Partnerships at NACA.
Our vision is to help every Indigenous entrepreneur that wants to start a business. The National Aboriginal Capital Corporations Association was created when the Indigenous financial institutions that were first started had a program where they're losing 85% of all their lending. So they handed it to an Indigenous organization to deliver. And our network to date only has 3% loan losses over 3 decades. We've created 162,000 jobs. The GDP impact is about $12.5 billion. It's an annual impact of about $400 million. We've put about 25,000 people into better home security, so more people have access to homes. Mental health indicators improved by about 27,000 people. Health indicators have also improved. One of our IFIs did a study that shows that for every Indigenous entrepreneur we support, life satisfaction improves by 72%, mental health indicators improve by 52%, and health indicators by 20%. $1 invested into our program is $1.26 to $42 back to the Treasury Department in cost savings because of all those social impacts that are felt. It's putting to work the IGF, it's putting to work the Indigenous Women's Program, the youth program.
We know being an entrepreneur isn't easy, and it can often be very lonely. But no, we're here to help you succeed every step of the way. I've had the privilege to help develop our Indigenous Youth Entrepreneurship Initiative at our organization. Indigenous youth are the fastest growing demographic in Canada. They're the next leaders of our country, and it's important that we're developing programs and services that are going to meet their needs so they can be successful. Our Indigenous Youth Entrepreneurship Program provides young Indigenous entrepreneurs with access to information, training, skill development, networking, as well as financing. We've developed a national Indigenous Youth Entrepreneurship Loan Fund to provide you with the capital you need to succeed. We've developed really cool content for young Indigenous entrepreneurs. This includes online learning, in-person boot camps, and financial and digital literacy programs. We also provide mentorship and advisory services so you have the support you need throughout your business journey. Through the program, you'll have the opportunity to connect and network with other young Indigenous entrepreneurs, industry leaders, and professionals that are here to support you. As an organization, we're looking to increase the number of Indigenous youth that we're supporting through our member Indigenous financial institutions. If you're unsure who your local Indigenous financial institution would be, you can always check out NACA's website, where we have a full list of all of our members. We can even help you identify and navigate the list so you're connected to the right person at the right organization. If you're interested in learning more or accessing the program, you can reach out to NACA or your local Indigenous financial institution for more information. We've developed an Indigenous Youth Business Advisory Council to help guide our work to ensure that the programming we're developing meets the needs of Indigenous youth.
Tanse, Anthony Nasikasun. Hello, my name is Anthony Wingham. I'm a proud member of the Métis Nation. I am also the co-founder of Nua's Acres. We are Canada's only Indigenous pecan oil producer. More importantly, we are committed to the water consumption in the beauty industry. Our business actually started off in the first trade war with the president we have now in the United States. When the price of pecans collapsed, my father-in-law in Mexico, they actually are pecan producers. So we needed to find out a different way to make a pecan sell because they weren't being sold. So we created Nua's Acres. We use the pecans, we make pecan oil, and we produce all those products in Langley, BC. Yes, my Indigenous Financial Institute was TAC. The member who helped me out was Brian Gillespie. Since meeting Mr. Gillespie, my world has completely changed. Not just my business, but me as an individual. Brian has been the first person in my short 38 years of my life to actually say yes. Being an Indigenous entrepreneur, trying to access funds, access capital, it can be very scary and a lot of times predatory. So working with Brian, we were able to come up with a plan that worked, and we've actually gone through for a second round of funding, and Brian has really helped us, and TAC and NACA ultimately has helped us break into that USA market, and look forward to the continued success. I think the resources are extremely important for Indigenous entrepreneurs because a lot of times the entrepreneur journey is quite lonely. Coming from Indigenous backgrounds, a lot of times we don't have that financial education, and when we do get into that spot where we do need funding and we have that opportunity to go and get funding for our business, sometimes those conversations can be a bit scary or daunting, and that's a lot of times the barrier that holds a lot of our Indigenous entrepreneurs back from being successful businesses. I think the biggest piece of advice that I'm still learning myself is it's okay to ask for help, being comfortable with asking questions, and meeting with mentors or even meeting with Brian, actually telling him the truth, not trying to sugarcoat it, because when you open up and you're real and actually ask for that help, that's when you get the support that you need. And I think that's sometimes the biggest thing that keeps entrepreneurs from going to that next level is going out and connecting with people that want to support them. And I find that the IFIs is that safe space that you can go to. You can be yourself, you can bring your indigeneity to there, and you're not going to be judged when you walk in that door.
We're actually growing our loan complement because we launched the Indigenous Growth Fund that allows us to increase the size of our loans, participate in more innovative type of businesses.
The Indigenous Growth Fund is Canada's first Indigenous managed private debt fund. Structured as an open-ended, limited partnership, the IGF has $153 million in current commitments from investors, including anchor investors like the Government of Canada and the Business Development Bank of Canada. In 2021, the IGF closed its first private corporate investor, Block Inc. IGF has been steadily deploying capital over the past 3 years through Indigenous financial institutions, unlocking the potential of the Indigenous economy and fostering economic reconciliation. That financing has reached more than 500 Indigenous businesses, supporting everything from a floating oyster farm off Vancouver Island, stocking the shelves of a nation-owned convenience store, and opening a dental clinic owned by a First Nation dental hygienist. IGF is now open for investment, raising an additional $20 million from Canadian institutional investors. Every dollar invested helps provide loan capital to Indigenous financial institutions, fueling entrepreneurship, self-determination, and creating measurable social and economic impact in communities across the country.
Who's a better investment than an Indigenous woman entrepreneur that has her mindset on fixing a problem in her community? We have a rich history of strong Indigenous women matriarchs in our community, and we want to continue to build on that for the next 7 generations and make our ancestors proud. Our Indigenous Women Entrepreneurship Program provides you with support to help you start and launch your business, as well as grow it. We know it can be daunting and overwhelming navigating the ecosystem and figuring out where to start. But don't worry, our Indigenous financial institutions and our dedicated officers are here to support you and walk you through the process every step of the way. Our Indigenous financial institutions can help you develop your business idea, write a business plan, and complete an application for financing. We started this program recognizing Indigenous women face unique obstacles and barriers when it comes to entrepreneurship. This program was designed to break down those barriers and provide tailored support to Indigenous women that meets them where they're at. Let me tell you 3 reasons why this program matters. Number 1, Indigenous women are becoming more financially free. Number 2, we're creating happier and healthier families. And number 3, we're seeing more positive impact in our communities. Our goal for the program is to support more Indigenous women to access financing through our Indigenous financial institutions and increase the overall number of Indigenous women starting and growing businesses in Canada. We believe by creating programs designed for Indigenous women entrepreneurs that we're creating more equitable services and initiatives that help Indigenous women and their communities thrive. I'm Magnolia Perron. I'm the Director of Strategy and Partnerships at the National Aboriginal Capital Corporations Association. If you're seeing this video, know I'm here to support you.
My name is Destiny Peter. I've been the owner and operator of Tangles Hair and Beauty Salon for the past 11 and a half years. Tangles is a full-service salon. We offer a variety of services such as haircuts and coloring, laser services such as laser hair removal, microneedling, and skincare. I've always had a very strong passion for doing hair. My mom knew I was going to be a hairstylist at a very young age. Like when I was maybe 4, I was braiding everything in sight, like my sister's hair, my doll's hair, the curtains, the ends of blankets, and then I moved on to like scissors and cutting my sister's hair, way too short, always in trouble. Then moved on to coloring as I got older, and always in trouble for that also because I had color all over the walls, the floors, the tubs. I just knew I had a huge passion for doing hair. I worked at Tangles Hair and Beauty beforehand for 3.5 years, and I was about to start at another salon when the owner approached me and asked me if I wanted to take over the salon. I was super hesitant at the time though because I was only 21 years old. Tangles, I have rebranded it once I took it over and add more of like an Indigenous feel to it, add my Indigenous culture. So at the end of every haircut, our clients have the option to take home their hair and they can either burn it or do whatever they want. Since that's what some Indigenous cultures do, as well as some Indigenous cultures, when they're mourning a loss, they cut their hair. We just make sure that it's a welcoming environment and no one is judged. And I love that we can educate our other clients around in what's going on and what we do. My IFI is SEAF, located in Saskatchewan. They have helped me tremendously. When I was a young entrepreneur, I got denied by a bank, many banks, but I did some research and I realized that SEAF was out there. So I reached out to them and they helped me with my first loan 3 years into my business with my laser machine. I'm really thankful now to have them support me and encourage me and tell me that I'm doing a good job and just always be there to check in on me, how I'm doing. And I'm very happy to say that next week that will be my last payment for my loan, which was 7 years. That means a lot to just have them support me and encourage me and tell me I'm doing an amazing job, other than just my mom and dad, which really helped me through those tough times.
I started this journey by saying there's no prosperity for Canada without Indigenous prosperity, and I think that message is starting to resonate with corporate Canada, with the government of Canada, that we need to have a fair, equitable share with Indigenous people so that everybody can benefit.
For generations, Indigenous people have sustained themselves through enterprise rooted in community. Today, that spirit continues with over 50,000 Indigenous-owned businesses contributing more than $30 billion annually to Canada's economy. Our people are creating jobs, fueling economies, and building vibrant communities for a stronger future. Introducing the Indigenous Launchpad for Entrepreneurs, a program created by and for Indigenous communities, designed to guide young entrepreneurs as they turn their ideas into action.
Indigenous peoples have always been entrepreneurial. With the Launchpad, we're helping Indigenous entrepreneurs across Canada with the digital tools, mentorship, and funding they need to grow, building businesses that reflect their values, their culture, and their vision for the future.
The Launchpad gives young entrepreneurs the tools they need to succeed. 5 hours of Indigenous-led, expert-created content can be completed on your own pace or alongside others in a guided cohort. Participants are supported by mentors. Seed funding is available to help test ideas and turn inspiration into action.
At DMZ, one of our core values, equity over everything, means meeting entrepreneurs where they are so they have a real shot at success. When we saw the gap in support for Indigenous entrepreneurs, we knew that we needed the right partners. Through Stacey Laforme, we connected with NACA, and right away we knew this was the collaboration that we'd been looking for.
From the very beginning, authenticity was our guide. Indigenous leaders, creators, and storytellers shaped every detail, ensuring that the Launchpad reflects who we are.
Leading this project as an ally in partnership with DMZ meant being intentional every step of the way. Guided by the Indigenous Prosperity Foundation values of honor, empowerment, reciprocity, and respect. The Indigenous Launchpad for Entrepreneurs is more than a program. It's a tool rooted in community, culture, and future building. This program welcomes all curious minds, but tailored support is available to verified Indigenous entrepreneurs.
This isn't business as usual. It's business with intent. It's about sustainability, purpose. Our values echo the teachings that remind every participant, you belong here.
The Indigenous Launchpad program is now accessible through both the DMZ and IPF websites, offering Indigenous entrepreneurs a powerful platform to grow, connect, and thrive. DMZ is proud to stand as an ally committed to fostering inclusive innovation and supporting Indigenous-led ventures every step of the way.
Knowledge builds confidence. Mentorship builds power. Guided online training provides Indigenous entrepreneurs with the tools to learn on their terms, on their timeline, and in their community. Mentors that understand the journey, and funding that has the opportunity to turn ideas into action.
The Launchpad is more than a curriculum. It's a movement. This is what happens when consultation becomes creation, and when Indigenous voices don't just join the conversation, they lead it.
Starting a business takes courage. It means taking risks and figuring things out as you go. The Launchpad for Indigenous Entrepreneurship Community is here to support you in every step of the way. Through the courses we have developed, the workshops we will host, and the mentorship available to you as a part of this journey. We are so excited to see where this ambition takes you. Let's get started.
Find out more at indigenousfoundation.ca.
name is Shannon Matatawaman. I'm the CEO for the National Aboriginal Capital Corporations Association. First Nations Procurement Authority is a new organization that is missing from the ecosystem in the Indigenous economy. The Government of Canada has been trying to deliver procurement to Indigenous businesses for over 30 years, but they have had a lot of challenges with ensuring that Indigenous entrepreneurs obtain the opportunities and the community see the social impact. And it's clear that the government are not the right people to ensure indigeneity of the individual and the business structure of businesses so that the impact is felt in the community. So the FNPA is going to be a new organization that's going to be the intermediary between Indigenous businesses and the government. It'll work with the government on understanding where the opportunities are coming down so that the community is prepared with capacity and the businesses to be able to submit proposals for opportunities. So Indigenous businesses will see more impact. Government will be held accountable for the targets that they meet. But then there's a transformation of the process of delivering a procurement opportunity to the community. It's all about being prepared, having the capital, having the network and connections, and submitting and delivering on a good procurement process. And FNPA is going to be that intermediary that will have the staff to help our people.